Today we're talking about the interesting history of black and gold teeth. While today we desire white teeth and do anything that we can to get them, this wasn't the case in all eras. In fact, in ancient Rome, it was fashionable for women to paint their teeth black. But why did they do it? Was it just to hide the fact that they had bad teeth? Well, not exactly. It was more than likely due to their idea of beauty at the time. Hi, I'm a practicing dentist and the host of this dental history channel. The ancient Romans had many different opinions on what made a person beautiful, and these opinions were often contradictory and changed over time. For example, pale skin was desirable among women, but so was having a suntan. And this influenced how women took care of their teeth as well. Teeth were considered beautiful if they were large and displayed while smiling. This is one of the reasons why women would pull out their back teeth, as I talked about in my last video. But the shape and color of the teeth also played a role. Women with large teeth set far apart, that showed lots of dark gums when smiling, were considered less attractive, while small, perfectly shaped teeth close together were highly coveted. So how did they fix this issue? Well, they used cosmetics. And no, not the kind of cosmetics that we use today. These were strong stuff. The main ingredient in Roman toothpaste was a combination of ground-up bone and teeth of animals, which had a gritty texture and was used to scrape away the tooth enamel until the dentin was visible. That's right, they basically sanded away the outside of the tooth to make it darker and more yellow in color. Women who could afford it would have their teeth pulled and then wear artificial teeth instead. These were typically made from ivory or gold. But if you couldn't afford to have your teeth removed and replaced, then you would just cover up the dark enamel with black or gold paint. But wait, didn't they think that white teeth were better? Yes, they did. But the only way they knew how to make teeth white was through the process of denameling them. And this process didn't always go smoothly. It was very painful and dangerous. And there were accounts of people going blind due to the chemicals getting into their eyes. So if you were rich, you might have decided that the risk just wasn't worth it. Also, the type of cosmetic use depended on the social status of the woman. Poorer women would use charcoal or burnt bones to blacken their teeth, while richer women would use a more refined form of coal called bone coal, or a special concoction of chalk, vinegar, burnt bones, and flowers. Ancient Greek writers often criticized the Roman women for their strange ideas of beauty, but Roman women continued to darken their teeth until the fall of the empire. The practice even spread to other areas like Egypt and Mesopotamia. After the fall of the Roman Empire, Europe went into a dark age, a period of about 600 years where there was very little advancement in science or technology. This included dentistry. The next time that cosmetic dentistry became popular wasn't until the 17th century. During this time period, teeth were still considered beautiful if they were large and yellow, so women would use dyes to color their teeth in a variety of shades of gold. The ingredients in these dyes varied depending on the recipe, but often included things like burnt corks, saffron, walnut shells, and even urine. I mean seriously, who would have thought that urine would end up in our mouth again, right? Some women took things a step further and actually filed down their teeth to make them look more even. They would wrap a piece of cloth around a bit of hard material like a nutshell and use it like sandpaper to rub away the enamel. Like the Romans before them, the goal was to expose the darker dentin underneath and make the teeth more yellow in color. This trend continued throughout Europe until the beginning of the 19th century, when the writings of Romantic poets caused a shift in attitudes towards teeth. Poets like William Blake and Samuel Taylor Coleridge glorified the pearl-like whiteness of teeth, singing the praises of the beautiful smile. This caused a change in the Victorian ideals of feminine beauty, which held that women should be pure and innocent. And what could be more pure and innocent than white teeth? And so, the quest for the white smile began, and we've been trying to perfect it ever since. But wait, if white teeth were now considered beautiful, why were people still darkening their teeth in the early 1900s? Well, it turns out that there was a new fad in Hollywood. Movie stars like the famous silent film actress Louise Brooks would dye their teeth black. This was probably because black teeth were associated with exotic, mysterious women, like those from the Middle East. And I know what you're thinking. How could she possibly think that this was attractive? Well, she wasn't alone. Lots of women wanted to copy her style. But thankfully, the Great Depression put an end to this trend. People simply didn't have the extra money to spend on luxuries like dyeing their teeth black. The quest for the white smile was now in full force. And after World War II, when things were looking brighter and more hopeful, everyone wanted to have a perfect set of pearly whites. So how did we get here? How did we go from a time when it was fashionable to have black teeth, to a time when everyone is getting thousands of dollars of dental work done to achieve the perfect white smile? Well, I think it has a lot to do with photography. Photography became popular around the same time that people started to think that white teeth were more beautiful. And it just so happens that white teeth looked even whiter in photographs. When you see a historical photograph of someone from the mid to late 1800s, almost everyone looks like they have yellow teeth. This is because the photographic plates at the time were made from silver nitrate and would react with the yellow components of the teeth. As time went on, scientists developed new photographic plates that didn't react with the teeth, so the teeth appeared white instead. Now, add to that the fact that movies and magazines were starting to glamorize the white smile. And it's easy to see how everyone became obsessed with achieving this look, and this obsession still hasn't faded. Today, over 4 million teeth whitening procedures are performed every year in the United States alone. But do you know what isn't as common as it used to be? Getting fillings done? You heard that right. It's true. Here in the United States, we have far fewer cavities than we used to have, thanks to the efforts of dentists and dental hygienists all across the country. I really appreciate all of you watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave me a comment below. And always remember, be kind to your teeth because you'll miss them when they're gone.